Yo! Alright, today is the 2nd of April 2025. This is the third episode of my Southward Progress Report series. Um, so I'm gonna obviously go over the changes that I made in, you know, this last month, the month of March. So let's begin. Alright, so the first thing that I added was I nerfed spells. So if we switch over to the map, this is our boy Bend over. Get him to hold his crystal ball, and these are all the spells that he has. And as we can see, spells now have a range indicated by this blue circle. Actually, that might have been last month. Maybe that was in last month's as well. But what definitely wasn't in last month's is the speed modifier. So as you can see here, the speed modifier uses the speed modifier of the crystal ball. But if I then click on this button here, boom, we get the spell, and we get the spell's speed modifier. So basically you roll a dice, let's say you get a 5, you put a 5 in there, let's say the enemy rolls a 6, you put a 6 in there, you get this number because it's reduced. And then there's also one for items, but this doesn't do anything yet because I haven't given item speed. So maybe that's what I should do this month in April. But yeah, so you've got this speed for if you want to perform melee attack with the crystal ball. If you want to just smack someone in the fucking face with the crystal ball, this is the multiplier for that. But if you want to cast a spell, you click it and it shows you the spell and it's got the multiplier for the spell. And different spells have different uh, multipliers. The second thing I did last month, and this is way bigger, is I've got a whole new inventory screen. So if we open the inventory screen, we've got the weapons that our character is holding. In their left hand, they've got a medium shield. In their right hand, they've got a long sword. And in their offhand, they've got a crystal ball. We've got the armor they're wearing and the position that it's in. And then we've got the items that they're holding. So currently, they're not holding anything. So here we've got the library. This is a list of all the weapons in the game, all of the armor in the game, and all of the items in the game. So let's give this guy a health potion. Boop. We press the add. We select health potion. We press add. Health potion is now in the inventory. Let's say we don't want it in the belt, we want it in the backpack. So we select the item, it's now yellow to show that it's selected, and if I click it again, it becomes unselected. So I'm going to select it, I'm going to press the transfer button, boom, goes across in the backpack. Let's say I just don't want this health potion at all. I select it, I press drop, and it goes onto the ground. So once again with the library, the ground shows all the items on the ground, all the armor on the ground, and all the weapons on the ground. Currently there's no armor or weapons on the ground, but we've got this health potion that's on the ground because we just dropped it. So let's say we want to pick it back up. Health potion selected, press pick up, boom, goes into our belt. Let's add a liquid mana to our belt. So now I've got health potion and liquid mana. I want to move the health potion across, I select it, I press transfer, it's in backpack. I want to swap them, I press liquid mana in the belt, and I select health potion in the backpack. And with them both selected, I press transfer, boop, and it swaps the positions. Let's say I drop them both. They will now both appear in this list, and I can add them independently. Alright, cool. Um, so now there's nothing on the ground, so this is empty. Let's say we want to replace our medium shield with a great shield. So we select the medium shield, and we select the great shield, and then we press the replace button, and it will replace the selected weapon that the character is holding with the selected weapon from the library. Boop. And now they're holding a great shield. And now their medium shield has been dropped onto the ground. So now they've got their medium shield on the ground. Let's say we want to pick that back up in our offhand. Select the crystal ball, which is in the offhand, and press swap. Boop, it'll swap. Let's say we try to press this button, but we don't have anything selected. Nothing happens because there's no thing selected. Alright, we don't want the great shield, that's too heavy, so let's swap it with this crystal ball on the ground. Swap, sick. With armor, we're wearing the padded set. Let's say I want to equip golden gloves. So I select golden gloves. I don't need to select the armor piece because gloves can only go onto the arms. They can't go on any other slots, so I don't need to pick one to swap because I just select what armor type. Hit replace. Bam, we've now got golden gloves. And the padded gauntlets have made their way onto the ground. Once again, with picking armor up from the ground, the same thing applies. I don't need to select anything because it can only go in one spot, depending on the armor type it is. So I can just keep swapping it. I can just keep swapping it. Yeah. So let's say we make another character. So here in the character creator menu, I've given my character a name, I've selected their species, and I've given them some stats. But oh my god, I haven't given them any armor or any weapons. And I press the create button. Boop. So now this character is created, but he's not got any weapons and he's not wearing any armor. Well, this sucks. Let's go to the inventory and let's give him some stuff. So in the right hand, I want him, we'll go to the library of all the stuff. I want him to have the mace. In the left hand, I want him to have actually, we can give him the great shield from the ground. Bam. And in the offhand, let's give him a gemstone. Bam. Now for armor, he's completely naked. Let's see, we'll give him some wooden gauntlets, wooden armor, and I'll just go through and give him all of the wooden set. So before I add the wooden legs, as we can see, he's got bare legs at the moment, and his belt is 0 out of 0. He can't hold anything into his belt. If I try to give him a bandage, it'll just go straight to his backpack because he has no belt. So let's give him the wooden leggings. Now he has 4 slots in his belt because he's wearing pants that have a belt, whereas before he wasn't wearing any pants. So now we can transfer the bandage to his belt, and he can have stuff in his belt. How cool is that? So something else we can do is let's drop this bandage onto the ground. And then we select Ben, and the bandage is available from the ground, and Ben picks it up. Now the bandage is in Ben's inventory. And let's say we drop Ben's liquid mana, and we drop Ben's health potion. We can select Peter again, and they'll both be here, and Peter can pick those up. So now you can transfer items between 2 different characters by dropping them on the ground and having the other character pick them up. Alright, so those were all the changes I made. I'm really happy with this inventory. I really like the whole selecting things and then choosing to, swap them with something else. Like let's replace this with an axe. Bam. Uh, and then transferring stuff between backpack and belt I really like. Yeah, basically I'm happy with myself for having produced this inventory system. So this fixes the 2 issues that came up in the playtest that I did in February. In February, when I did the playtest, the 2 issues were that equipment that was dropped, and there's a spell that can force you to drop your equipment, couldn't be picked up. That's not true. That spell that makes you drop stuff, it sends it to the ground, and now you can just access the inventory screen and pick it back up again. And something else was that spells in general were just overpowered. So now I've reduced the effectiveness of spells by giving them their own speed that will slow them down, and giving them reduced range. So if I switch to the crystal ball, when I was doing the playtest, spells didn't have range at all. So I just said, oh yeah, you can hit anyone with a spell anywhere on the map. Now you can't do that anymore. If this guy's hanging in the back line, he won't be able to hit anyone that's obviously outside of his circle. So he has to move closer. And obviously, yeah, his spells have reduced speed, which will decrease their effectiveness. So yeah, the next part of this video is talking about what changes I wish to make in April. And once again, stances. I still want to add stances. Yeah, so that'll be the next thing that I try to do because I fixed the problem from the playtest. So now I can just focus on adding stances to the game. Oh, something else. I went to the Melbourne Games Expo, and at the Melbourne Games Expo, I met 2 artists, and I spoke to them about the project, and they said they were interested in the project, and so I've added them to the team. So yay! Now this project has artists. So as the months progress, you will slowly begin to see these thick chickens disappear as they are replaced with official art made for this project, which is just super cool and makes me feel super happy. So yeah, if anyone at all is watching this, thank you. And I'll see you next month.